Most people spend their entire lives trying to avoid pain. They avoid discomfort. They avoid failure. They avoid rejection. But the truth is that life does not become easier because you avoid difficulty. In many cases, avoiding hardship only makes you weaker. Stoicism teaches something different. It teaches that strength is built through resistance. Just as iron becomes stronger through fire, the human mind becomes stronger through struggle. Every difficult experience carries an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, calmer, and more disciplined. The strongest people are not those who never suffered. They are the ones who suffered without surrendering. In today's world, many people collapse mentally the moment life becomes uncomfortable. A small setback destroys their confidence. Criticism ruins their peace. Rejection makes them question their worth. But Stoic philosophy teaches that your true power comes from within. When you build your mind correctly, external chaos loses control over you. A Stoic understands that life will always contain pain, uncertainty, disappointment, and struggle. The goal is not to escape these realities. The goal is to become strong enough to face them without breaking. If you learn how to master your thoughts, emotions, habits, and discipline, life loses its ability to control you. Before we continue, subscribe to Stoic Mind for more powerful lessons on mental toughness, discipline, self-control, and timeless Stoic wisdom. This channel is dedicated to helping you become calmer, stronger, and mentally unshakable in a chaotic world. One of the most important truths you must understand is that suffering is unavoidable. No one escapes pain. Every person experiences loss. Every person faces disappointment. Every person struggles internally. But what separates strong individuals from weak ones is their response to hardship. Weak people allow suffering to destroy them. Strong people allow suffering to shape them. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not interruptions to life. Obstacles are part of life itself. Every challenge contains a hidden lesson. Every hardship trains your character. Every painful experience can either strengthen your mind or weaken it depending on how you respond. Most people ask why difficult things happen to them. A Stoic asks what can be learned from the experience. This shift in perspective changes everything. When you stop seeing challenges as punishments and start seeing them as training, your mindset becomes more resilient. Life begins to feel less like a burden and more like preparation. The pain you survive today often becomes the wisdom that protects you tomorrow. Strength is not built during comfort. Comfort rarely teaches discipline. Comfort rarely teaches endurance. Comfort rarely reveals character. Real growth begins when life becomes difficult. Think about the strongest people you know. Most of them were shaped by struggle. Pain forced them to mature. Difficulty forced them to adapt. Failure forced them to grow. The Stoics trained themselves to embrace discomfort because they understood that avoiding hardship creates weakness. Modern society encourages comfort everywhere. Instant entertainment. Instant pleasure. Instant validation. But comfort can slowly destroy discipline. When a person becomes addicted to comfort, even small difficulties begin to feel unbearable. A Stoic trains the opposite mindset. They willingly practice self-control. They challenge themselves physically and mentally. They understand that temporary discomfort creates long-term strength. Every time you choose discipline over pleasure, your mind becomes stronger. Every time you endure difficulty calmly, your resilience increases. You do not become powerful overnight. Strength is built through repeated acts of discipline. One of the biggest reasons people break emotionally is because they depend too heavily on external things. External validation. External success. External approval. External comfort. But external things are unstable. People change. Circumstances change. Life changes constantly. If your peace depends entirely on things outside your control, your peace will always remain fragile. The Stoics understood this deeply. They focused their energy on mastering what they could control. Their thoughts, their actions, their attitudes, their discipline. Everything else was secondary. A person who controls their own mind becomes difficult to destroy. Criticism no longer controls them. Failure no longer defines them. Hardship no longer terrifies them. The world loses power over people who stop depending on external approval for inner peace. True confidence is internal. It comes from knowing that regardless of what happens outside you, your character remains strong. When you build your identity around discipline, wisdom, and self-control, life becomes less capable of shaking you. Another reason many people collapse under pressure is because they never trained their mind. They train their body. They train for careers. They train for money. But they neglect mental strength. Then when life becomes painful, they have no emotional endurance. Stoicism teaches that the mind must be trained daily. Just as muscles become stronger through resistance, the mind becomes stronger through practice. You must learn how to control your reactions. You must learn how to remain calm under pressure. You must learn how to separate emotion from reason. Many people react impulsively to every inconvenience. A rude comment ruins their day. A setback destroys their motivation. A small failure makes them quit. But a disciplined mind remains steady. The Stoics practiced emotional control because they understood that uncontrolled emotions create unnecessary suffering. You cannot always control what happens to you. But you can control how you respond. That is where true power begins. Every day, your habits either strengthen you or weaken you. Small decisions shape your future more than dramatic moments. Most people underestimate the power of consistency. They wait for motivation before taking action. But motivation is unreliable. Discipline matters more. A Stoic understands that greatness is built quietly through repeated action. Reading daily strengthens the mind. Exercise strengthens the body. Silence strengthens awareness. Self-control strengthens character. Every disciplined action compounds over time. Likewise, every destructive habit weakens your future. Laziness weakens discipline. Negativity weakens peace. Constant distraction weakens focus. Excuses weaken responsibility. The quality of your life depends heavily on the habits you repeat every day. You do not suddenly become mentally strong during difficult moments. You become mentally strong by preparing yourself long before difficulty arrives. This is why Stoics valued daily discipline. They understood that preparation creates resilience. When your habits are strong, your mind becomes harder to break. One of the greatest forms of strength is emotional control. Most people are controlled by their emotions without realizing it. Anger controls them. Fear controls them. Jealousy controls them. Anxiety controls them. But emotions become dangerous when they dominate reason. The Stoics never taught people to suppress emotions completely. They taught mastery. A strong person feels emotion without becoming enslaved by it. For example, fear is natural. But allowing fear to stop your growth creates weakness. Anger is natural. But allowing anger to control your decisions creates destruction. Sadness is natural. But remaining trapped in hopelessness destroys your spirit. Emotional strength means learning how to observe your feelings without immediately obeying them. This takes practice. This takes awareness. This takes discipline. Most people react automatically. A Stoic responds intentionally. That difference changes everything. The calmer your mind becomes, the stronger your decisions become. A person who controls their emotions gains control over their life. Life also becomes easier when you stop taking everything personally. Many people suffer unnecessarily because they attach their identity to every opinion and every event. Someone criticizes them and they feel worthless. Someone rejects them and they feel broken. Someone misunderstands them and they become consumed by frustration. But the Stoics understood that other people's actions often reflect their own character, not yours. Not everyone will understand your path. Not everyone will support your growth. Some people criticize others simply because they lack discipline themselves. A weak mind constantly seeks validation. A strong mind remains focused on purpose. When you stop allowing external opinions to control your emotions, your peace becomes more stable. You stop wasting energy trying to please everyone. You stop seeking approval from people who do not understand your vision. You stop giving strangers control over your emotional state. Inner peace grows when external noise loses importance. The Stoics believed that protecting your mind was essential. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every insult deserves your reaction. Silence is often a sign of strength. Another critical lesson of Stoicism is accepting reality. Many people suffer because they resist reality. They waste energy wishing the past were different. They complain endlessly about situations they cannot change. They fight against truth instead of adapting to it. Acceptance does not mean weakness. Acceptance means clarity. A Stoic faces reality honestly. If something cannot be changed, they accept it calmly. If something can be improved, they take disciplined action. This mindset eliminates unnecessary suffering. The moment you accept reality, your mind becomes freer. You stop wasting emotional energy resisting what already exists. Instead, you focus on building the best response possible. Life becomes lighter when you stop demanding perfection. No person has complete control over life. Unexpected hardship will happen. Disappointment will happen. Loss will happen. But peace becomes possible when you stop fighting reality itself. A Stoic adapts instead of collapsing. That adaptability creates strength. Many people believe strength means never feeling pain. But true strength means continuing forward despite pain. Resilience matters more than perfection. Everyone struggles. Everyone experiences moments of weakness. Everyone feels fear at times. The difference is whether you allow those moments to define you. Strong individuals keep moving. They continue improving. They continue learning. They continue enduring. One failure does not destroy them. One rejection does not stop them. One difficult season does not convince them to quit. The Stoics valued endurance because they understood that life rewards persistence. Most people quit too early. They give up before growth becomes visible. But growth often happens quietly. Discipline compounds slowly. Mental strength develops gradually. Wisdom deepens through repeated experience. You may not see immediate results. But every disciplined action strengthens your future. Keep building yourself. Even when progress feels slow. Even when life feels difficult. Even when nobody notices. Real strength is often developed in silence. One of the most dangerous habits in modern life is constant distraction. Distraction weakens focus. Distraction weakens discipline. Distraction weakens purpose. Many people spend their lives consuming endless entertainment while neglecting their own growth. They constantly scroll. Constantly compare. Constantly seek stimulation. But an unfocused mind becomes weak. The Stoics valued stillness because stillness creates clarity. Silence reveals truth. Reflection strengthens awareness. A person who cannot sit alone with their thoughts often becomes controlled by external noise. This is why protecting your attention is essential. Whatever controls your attention eventually controls your life. If your attention is constantly consumed by negativity, drama, and distraction, your potential slowly disappears. But if your attention is directed toward growth, wisdom, discipline, and purpose, your life transforms. You must become intentional about what enters your mind. Not everything deserves your focus. Protect your mental environment carefully. Your future depends on what you repeatedly feed your mind. Another Stoic principle that builds inner strength is responsibility. Weak people blame everything outside themselves. Strong people focus on improvement. Responsibility is powerful because it returns control back to you. The moment you stop blaming everyone else, growth becomes possible. You may not control every situation, but you always control your response. You control your effort. You control your discipline. You control your mindset. Many people remain trapped because they wait for perfect conditions before changing their life. But perfect conditions rarely exist. Strength is built through action despite imperfect circumstances. A Stoic understands that waiting endlessly only delays growth. The strongest people act even when they feel uncertain. They take responsibility for their future. They refuse to remain victims of their circumstances. Responsibility creates confidence because every disciplined action proves to your mind that you are capable of growth. And confidence built through action becomes difficult to break. The people you surround yourself with also affect your strength. Negative people drain energy. Weak-minded people normalize excuses. Undisciplined people encourage distraction. The Stoics believe that character is contagious. This is why your environment matters. If you constantly surround yourself with negativity, eventually your thinking becomes negative too. But when you surround yourself with disciplined, thoughtful, growth-oriented individuals, your mindset improves. Pay attention to who influences your thoughts daily. Some people inspire growth. Others destroy peace. You do not need to hate anyone. But you must protect your mind carefully. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your energy. Sometimes growth requires distance. Sometimes peace requires boundaries. A strong person understands that protecting their inner world is necessary. Your environment either strengthens your discipline or weakens it. Choose carefully. Perhaps the greatest lesson Stoicism teaches is this. Your peace cannot depend entirely on external circumstances. If your happiness depends on perfect conditions, you will suffer constantly. Life will never remain perfectly stable. Unexpected problems will always appear. But a strong mind remains steady even during chaos. This is what makes Stoicism so powerful. It teaches internal stability. Instead of trying to control the entire world, you learn to control yourself. You learn patience. You learn discipline. You learn resilience. You learn calmness. Over time, your reactions become wiser. Your emotions become more balanced. Your confidence becomes more genuine. Life loses its ability to easily break you because your strength no longer depends on temporary external things. True power comes from mastering yourself. That is why Stoicism remains timeless. At the end of the day, life will test everyone. There will be moments when you feel exhausted. Moments when you feel discouraged. Moments when everything feels uncertain. But those moments do not define you. Your response defines you. Every hardship can either become an excuse to quit or a reason to become stronger. Every painful experience can either break your spirit or deepen your wisdom. The choice is yours. Build yourself patiently. Build yourself quietly. Build discipline daily. Train your mind daily. Protect your peace daily. Because the stronger your inner world becomes, the less power external chaos will have over you. One day, the struggles that once nearly destroyed you will become proof of your strength. You will look back and realize that the pain you survived helped shape the person you became. A calm mind becomes difficult to control. A disciplined person becomes difficult to stop. And a strong character becomes difficult to break. If this video helped you, subscribe to Stoic Mind for more powerful videos on Stoicism, mental toughness, discipline, self-mastery, and emotional strength. Join a growing community dedicated to becoming wiser, calmer, and stronger every single day. Leave a comment sharing the lesson that impacted you the most. And remember, life becomes less frightening when your mind becomes stronger.